Chapter 464 Manifold Mysterious Ice Essence. An inquisitive look appeared in Nan Shuishui's eyes. Who are you? Al said. Auntie, when I went down to investigate, I discovered that there is a mouth of a spring deep within this well. The water within this spring has a very low temperature, but there seems to be something else hidden inside. I went into the cave to investigate, and now I wish to enter the icy spring to see if there's anything down there. This place can form rare metals that can be considered one of the most precious between heaven and earth, so there must be something that they originate from. A thought occurred to Nan Shuishui as she said, there's such a thing. There aren't any records in the Earth Dragon Sect's archives about that. The temperature in the icy spring is very low. Will that hurt you? Who are you? Al smiled and said, don't worry, Auntie. I have ultimate ice soul power. I'll be able to judge if I can't bear it, but there should be no problem protecting myself. Who are you? Al was protected by the Snow Empress and the Ice Empress, and he was also supported by the Star Anise mysterious ice grass. If he couldn't enter that icy spring, then nobody else in the world could. All right. Go, then. Kirkayu and I will keep watch for you outside. Nan Shuishui didn't advise him further. Hua Yuao was a very reliable fellow in her eyes, and he was definitely sure of himself if he said he was. The more she looked at Hua Yuao, the more she liked him. Those eyes clearly belonged to that of a mother-in-law gazing upon her son-in-law. Even Hua Yuao couldn't take her gaze any longer. Hua Yuao bowed at Nan Shuishui before he leapt into the well and dove deep into the icy spring. The Ice Empress had mentioned that manifold mysterious ice essence had to exist here, whether in small or large amounts. The ice essence wasn't just useful for him, it was also beneficial to different degrees for his 4 spirits, and he couldn't give up on that. Normal soul masters could still use soul tools crafted with divine ice crystals with the help of formation arrays, but only a person with ice-type abilities like Hua Yuao could use the manifold mysterious ice essence. Furthermore, this was his own discovery, and thus using it wouldn't weigh on his conscience. Quite a bit of spring water had surged into the cave, and the surface level of the spring had dropped a little. Hua Yuao swiftly dove deeper than he had reached before, and he continued going down while the water pressure around him began to increase, and the temperature swiftly plummeted. The temperature of the spring water closer to the surface rose a little without the ice divine crystals, but the temperature below didn't change at all. Hua Yuao quickly arrived near the mouth of the spring. Such low temperatures. Hua Yuao was full of admiration even though he had just arrived. He could clearly feel that his soul power was circulating much more slowly due to the low temperature here. He possessed ultimate ice soul power, and yet his soul power was being affected. It wasn't hard to imagine how normal soul masters would be affected after coming to a place like this. Even titled Douluo could probably only remain here for a few breaths, and even an ultimate Douluo might not have the courage to investigate deep within this icy spring. 2 shadows gradually appeared behind Hua Yuao's back. The Ice Empress and the Snow Lady. The Ice Empress pulled the Snow Lady along like an elder sister holding her younger sister. They felt the extreme chill around them, and their faces began to show expressions of enjoyment. Bluish green and dark blue colors glowed at the same time. These 2 lights merged together and turned a deep bluish green, while this light entered Hua Yuao's body and formed a layer of protection over his skin. The Star Anise mysterious ice grass came out from his shoulder. A layer of faint blue light emerged, and absorbed the chills that were invading Hua Yuao's body. Hua Yuao realized with slight amusement that his soul power wasn't weakening around this icy spring. Instead, with support from his 3 spirits, his soul power was increasing continuously. This situation was similar to when he was in meditation. If he didn't have to hold his breath in this place, he would truly wish to spend more time cultivating here. His cultivation would be more effective. Things that were most suitable for him were always the best. Perhaps the origin energy of heaven and earth here was inferior to the lake of life, but the pure elements of ice were most suitable for his cultivation. Hua Yuao stopped 1 meter away from the mouth of the icy spring as he thought. Hua Yuao would never be blindly optimistic or careless even though he was confident. He had gone through far too many lessons and experiences, and no matter what, he wouldn't let himself be placed in harm's way so easily. That was always the best decision. Hua Yuao gathered spiritual power and transformed it into formless energy as it went through the mouth of the spring. Hua Yuao's spiritual power was like his eyes, and he would be able to accurately judge the situation as long as he could see inside the mouth of the spring. However, Hua Yuao was immediately astonished, as his spiritual power felt as if it had entered a sticky swamp. There was great difficulty in pushing it forward, and he would have to expend far too much spiritual power. What? How can elements affect spiritual power? This was the first time Hua Yuao had encountered something like this. Pull your spiritual power back. Yuao, let me go down and take a look. The Ice Empress voice rang out from behind him. Hua Yuao turned around to look at her and asked, why is this happening? Ice Empress. The Ice Empress answered, energies may be different, but they are all of the same kind once they reach a certain standard. Spiritual power is different from elemental energy, but it is still a form of energy. The elements of ice within this icy spring are as extreme as they can get, and your spiritual power will be affected by it by going inside. That is very evident. You might be able to send your spiritual power inside if you use the power of your soul core, but that will expend too much energy. Furthermore, the situation is unclear, so it's better not to take this risk. Let me take a look inside. My origin is inside your body, and the thread of my consciousness will have no problem going inside. All right, thank you for your trouble. Hua Yuao acknowledged. The Ice Empress transformed into a beam of flowing light and disappeared into the mouth of the spring. Hua Yuao's 4 spirits were evolving at different rates as he became stronger. Amongst Hua Yuao's spirits, the Sky Dream Ice Worm wasn't the most intimately related to him. It was the Ice Empress. The Ice Empress was his martial soul after all. What the Ice Empress meant when she said that her origin was inside his body was that she was Hua Yuao's martial soul, so damage to a single thread of consciousness wouldn't cause too much trouble. His other 3 spirits altered the true form of spirits. The Sky Dream Ice Worm and Hua Yuao were inseparable, and their integration level was comparable to him and the Ice Empress. However, the Sky Dream Ice Worm's half spiritual and half ice abilities were inferior to the Ice Empress in a situation like this. Hua Yuao waited quietly outside the icy spring. He wasn't hasty, as he had faith in the Ice Empress abilities. Even though only a thread of her consciousness went in, Hua Yuao still knew far less than the Ice Empress did about the element of ice. It didn't take long before the Ice Empress emerged from the icy spring. She waved at Hua Yuao excitedly and said, everything is fine. Come in. All right. Hua Yuao couldn't hold his breath for much longer. He was starting to feel stifled in his chest, and he passed a message to the Ice Empress with his spiritual power before he activated his soul power and dove in. Hua Yuao went into the mouth of the icy spring, and he immediately felt an intense wave of cold that invaded his body like millions of steel needles. The temperature of this wave of cold was something that Hua Yuao had never seen before. From his perspective, this extreme cold exceeded every ice-type energy that he had ever encountered before. He felt as if his entire skeleton were glowing as he was immersed in it. Hua Yuao had the Ice Jade Empress Scorpion skeleton and left arm bone to protect those parts. However, the other parts of his body were clearly feeling a little stiff. The Star Anise mysterious ice grass and the Snow Empress displayed their powerful abilities in this moment. They had absorbed a large amount of the elements of ice around them, and now formed a protective layer around his body so that he could continue diving downward, as the Ice Empress took point in front. This icy spring was far deeper than Hua Yuao had judged. He went 30 meters down, and the chills around him became increasingly strong. Hua Yuao had to continue channeling soul power to resist the cold. He was starting to fall apart because he had been holding his breath for a long time, and this environment put a lot of pressure on him. A suffocating feeling was starting to appear, and that stifling feeling in his chest was starting to make his inner breathing a little unbalanced. Oh no, problems might occur if this continues. Hua Yuao was beginning to feel a little hesitant. The Ice Empress clearly felt the changes in his body. She waved her hand at him to show that everything was fine as they continued descending into the depths. The Ice Empress was a part of his body. The Ice Empress couldn't live by herself if something happened to him, so Hua Yuao had absolute faith in the Ice Empress as he gritted his teeth and continued downward. 40 meters, 45 meters, 50 meters. Hua Yuao almost couldn't bear it anymore at this depth. His body was starting to tremble as the water pressure increased, and with the agony of the intense chill in addition to the harsh suffocating sensations, his body was starting to reach its limits. Hua Yuao was like Nan Kirkayu when she was resisting his spiritual pressure before. He was relying only on his willpower to support his body under that enormous pressure. The Ice Empress paused in front of him at this moment before she suddenly accelerated and continued downward. Hua Yuao paused for a moment. He still had a chance to return if he went back now, but if he went deeper in and if he couldn't extricate himself from this situation, then he would probably be in big trouble. Should I trust the Ice Empress, or should I go up and take a breather before I prepare myself to return? Those 2 thoughts resonated in his mind for but an instant before he made his choice. He gritted his teeth and channeled all his soul power before he pressed his hand backward. 2 waves of soul power surged and propelled his body as he suddenly burst forward and went deeper down. In this moment, Hua Yuao felt as if the icy spring water around him had already reached absolute zero. zero. The extremely low temperatures were starting to make his body go numb. However, the soul power within his body was greedily absorbing that extreme chill. Whoosh, Hu Yuao's body suddenly lightened, and he suddenly felt the pressure around him plummet as he fell into a small cave. Everything was completely dark inside the cave, but there wasn't any spring water at all. Hu Yuao almost subconsciously opened his mouth to breathe. A wave of terrifying and chilly air followed his breath into his body. In that moment, Hu Yuao felt as if everything, including his own spirit, had frozen. His entire body went stiff as he just stood there, motionless. Hu Yuao thought that he had a very deep understanding of the element of ice, but only in this moment did he truly understand that everything that he knew was insufficient. At least, he had never believed that ice could cause even spirits to freeze. Was this the true element of ice? His eye of destiny opened on his forehead. The deep, profound, and tranquil vertical eye opened as the soul core in his body rotated hysterically. Tremendous spiritual power rippled outward and forcefully helped Hu Yuao's spirit struggle out from the icy rigidness. Bluish-green light glowed in front of him at the same time. The Ice Empress hovered in front of him quietly, and Hu Yuao could finally see everything around him with clarity. He was inside a very small cave. It was only about 10 square meters, and about 1.5 meters high. Hu Yuao had to come inside with his body bent down. There were strange pillars of ice inside the cave. There were more than 10 of various sizes, some big and some small, and they were all intertwined with each other. Every pillar was white, and they were still white and clean even when the Ice Empress bluish-green light shone on them. Liquid seemed to flow within those white, icy pillars. The frightening chill came from these icy pillars. The extreme cold here was different from that contained inside the divine ice crystals. The cold here couldn't be contained, and even the air seemed to be sticky. The elements of ice were so thick here that even Hu Yuao couldn't absorb them, and only the Ice Empress, the Snow Empress, the Star Annis or other spirits like them wouldn't be too affected in such an environment. That wasn't because they were in spiritual form, but because their original bodies were formed from ultimate ice. We are here. This is the manifold mysterious ice essence. The Ice Empress spoke with much sorrow. The manifold mysterious ice essence. Hu Yuao's spirits were rekindled when he heard those words. Hu Yuao couldn't move at all, and his entire body seemed like it was frozen. However, with his soul core helping him, his thoughts and spirit were very normal. The Ice Empress said, "Don't worry, Yuao. You're just not used to the extreme cold in this place. The area here is too small, and there is too much manifold mysterious ice essence, and that's the reason why the temperature is so low. The temperature here is about 5 degrees from absolute zero. Even though these 5 degrees are still calamities, this is the lowest temperature I have ever come across." Thoughts spun in Hu Yuao's head as he turned to the Ice Empress and asked, "Does that mean our ultimate ice isn't absolute zero?" The Ice Empress shook her head and said, "Of course not. Temperatures can be considered at the extremes when they are 150 degrees below zero. That is already a range forbidden to life. However, that threshold is still quite far from absolute zero. But this place is different. This place is truly a place with a temperature close to absolute zero. There isn't as much manifold mysterious ice essence as the place that the Sky Dream Iceworm discovered by chance, but the space here is small, and the cold air cannot be released outside. The cold air has been accumulating and trapped here. Therefore, low temperatures such as this are few and far between even in our lives. Don't do anything now. Just stay here quietly, and it will be beneficial for you. We will absorb the manifold mysterious ice essence to reduce the icy air's thickness, and then you can slowly adapt. Just make sure that your mind remains clear." All right. Hu Yuao said nothing more. He understood what the Ice Empress was saying, but he had to feel and experience more of a place like this that hardly ever occurred in the world, if at all. It would be very beneficial for his cultivation with ultimate ice. Hu Yuao concentrated his spiritual power and began to quietly feel everything around him. Even though his body was frozen, there was an icy blue layer around his body that was protecting him. Hu Yuao's martial soul had ultimate ice, and he couldn't be frozen to death. The only problem is that the chilly air here was too strong, and he didn't know how to deal with it yet. Light flickered as the Sky Dream Iceworm emerged from Hu Yuao's body. Even though the Sky Dream Iceworm didn't originally have ultimate ice, he was undoubtedly one of the most experienced in dealing with manifold mysterious ice essence. "What do you plan to do?" The Sky Dream Iceworm asked the Ice Empress. Their consciousnesses were the most intact amongst Hu Yuao's 4 spirits. The Star Annis was similar, but it was a plant-type soul beast, and it only had 100,000 years of cultivation, so its intelligence was relatively lower. The Snow Empress memories were sealed after she became Hu Yuao's spirit, so she couldn't help them make a decision. The Ice Empress lowered her voice and said, "We are without our bodies. However, the manifold mysterious ice essence is the purest and most valuable treasure for our elements of ice. We may be able to recreate our bodies if we use this ice essence as materials and absorb them through our origin energy. These bodies will still be based on energy, but if our fusion is to be successful, we will be able to leave Yuao for a certain distance in the future and still be able to live. At the same time, if anything happens to Yuao, we can still." She paused here and glanced at Hu Yuao. Hu Yuao passed his message with his thoughts. "Can what?" The Ice Empress took a deep breath and spoke with radiating eyes that were trained on him. "We can leave you, and we can find another person who can help us attain eternity. With the manifold mysterious ice essence, our spiritual origins can possess a vessel that isn't so easily dissipated." Hu Yuao said, "That's great. That is a good thing. Hurry up and absorb it." The Sky Dream Iceworm's eyes became a lot deeper than before. "That's not good." The Ice Empress stared at him coldly and said, "What's not good?" The Sky Dream Iceworm frowned. "I can understand what you are feeling. However, since we have chosen to follow Yuao from the beginning, we have to give our entire hearts and souls. Everyone has been through life and death struggles so many times. Have you forgotten?" The Ice Empress paused momentarily and said, "I just wish to use the manifold mysterious ice essence to strengthen my origin so that my spiritual origin can rely on something. What's wrong with that?" The Sky Dream Iceworm shook his head. "No, that's not all you are thinking of. I understand that you want to try to recreate your physical body with all this manifold mysterious ice essence. I can tell you 2 things. First, you can't possibly do that. This ice essence is a very valuable ice-type treasure, but there isn't enough here for you to recreate your physical body. How can you recreate your body without any dependence? Secondly, even if you manage to do that, you will no longer be with us. I understand how you feel about seeing all this manifold mysterious ice essence, but I have to stop you. This is not our path. Have you not seen hope in Yuao? Since we already have hope, why do you have to take this risk?" The Ice Empress retorted defiantly. "I didn't think of hurting him. I just..." The Sky Dream Iceworm's voice suddenly became very severe. "Shut up. I know you never wished to harm him, but why didn't you tell him that he would have to sustain such enormous pressure in the process of coming in? You didn't want him to stop you after coming here. Absorbing the manifold mysterious ice essence to strengthen your own body is alright, but I'm afraid that your mentality will become unstable. Don't take the wrong path." The Ice Empress fell silent. Even though she didn't want to admit it, she understood that the Sky Dream Iceworm was telling the truth. The manifold mysterious ice essence had caused a ripple in her heart that had always been calm, and she felt as if she had seen hope. She had never fused with a treasure such as this before, but she held onto that tiny thread of hope, that she could use it to try and recreate her physical body. She did see hope by following Hu Yuao, but she craved freedom more. "Brother Sky Dream," Hu Yuao called out. The Sky Dream Iceworm turned around and looked at Hu Yuao with an apologetic look on his face. "I'm sorry, Yuao. She didn't do it intentionally. The manifold mysterious ice essence is unimaginably alluring to any ice-type soul beast. I understand. I don't blame her." Hu Yuao continued. "I understand the value of freedom. Brother Sky Dream, I called you because I wanted to ask if I can truly help you guys recreate your physical bodies by leveraging the manifold mysterious ice essence, or rather, by using it as the main material. If that's possible, I am willing to help you. Really. I don't mind even if you absorb every single inch of the ice essence here." The Sky Dream Iceworm frowned even more tightly. "What do you mean, Yuao?" Hu Yuao smiled and said, "Brother Sky Dream, Ice Empress, I've always known that you guys have high expectations and hopes on me, and this expectation has been an enormous burden for me. If you guys can recreate your physical bodies, then this burden will naturally disappear. I can do some things that I wish to do with a lightened heart. You guys don't have to worry about anything. My spirit eyes have grown, and even if the Ice Empress leaves me and takes my second martial soul, that's not a big deal. I am very clear about how valuable freedom is. Therefore, if you have a solution to this, Brother Sky Dream, please help the Ice Empress and yourself. There will be no problem if the Snow Empress can awaken because of this. The original rationale of becoming my spirits was to live better lives. Since you guys have this opportunity, why are you giving it up?" The Sky Dream Iceworm's knotted eyebrows relaxed, but his expression became one of astonishment astonishment. He could tell that Huo Yuao's words were very sincere, and there wasn't a single trace of sarcasm. The Ice Empress stared at Huo Yuao with a blank look on her face, and she seemed a little lost. Huo Yuao heaved a faint sigh and said, I have always had 3 wishes. My first wish is to avenge my mother, and for everybody who hurt her to pay. This is my duty as a son. My second wish is to find Dongo again so that we can be together, and that is for my own happiness. My third wish is to help you guys live on, and in a better life. You guys are the reason why I have achieved everything that I have, and to me, you are both teachers and friends. The only responsibility that remains after I have completed these 3 wishes will be to fight for Shrek and the Tang Sect. I truly wish to see my 3 wishes fulfilled. Therefore, Brother Skydream, every one of you can leave if you are able to. I will not be upset at all. I only wish that we can still be friends afterwards. The Skydream Iceworm's voice became a little lower, but you know that if we leave you, perhaps what we have fused with you will remain in your body, but the Ice Empress, the Snow Empress, and I will take with us all the soul skills that we have bestowed upon you. Even the soul bone that the Ice Empress has given you will disappear. Your second martial soul will likely crumble, and your spirit Ice fourth soul skill will vanish with me. Even though you are a soul sage, your strength will very likely plummet. Who are you out chuckled? I have considered all of that. That's not a problem, because I am not worried about all that as long as I can fulfill my 3 wishes. Brother Skydream, you don't have to worry for me. I am no longer the same me as I was back then. With your help, at the very least, I am still a soul sage. Furthermore, I already have my soul core. I trust that I can regain my prowess with my own abilities. Even if I only have spirit eyes, I am still quite powerful. Don't worry. The Skydream Iceworm sighed and turned around to look at the Ice Empress. Have you heard him? The Ice Empress nodded silently. The Skydream Iceworm said plainly, so what is your decision? The Ice Empress didn't answer directly. Instead, she asked the Skydream Iceworm a question. If I choose to leave, then what about you? Will you leave with me? The Skydream Iceworm shook his head almost without hesitation as he said decisively, no, I won't. The Ice Empress frowned. But you've said before that you like me. Why aren't you willing to be with me? The Skydream Iceworm replied plainly, yes, I like you. No, I should say that I love you. You are one of the most important components of my life. However, Yuao is the same. Yes, it was because of me that Yuao's strength has risen so quickly. However, on the other hand, I would probably no longer exist if I hadn't run into him. We have always been relying on each other for survival and helping each other, and only then have we reached where we are today. Therefore, no matter what, whether Yuao will touch that level successfully in the future, I will accompany him on his path. I will always be by his side whether he is successful or not. I am his companion, and I am also his elder brother, just as you are. He has long become one of the most important parts of my life. Yuao is right. He has a tremendous burden on his shoulders because of us. I trust that everything that he has said is sincere. Our departure for him might be a kind of liberation, but I will not leave, no matter what the future holds for us. I will stand with my brother. The Ice Empress expression turned a little bitter. What about me? We both hold important places in your heart. Why won't you choose to be with me? The Skydream Iceworm sighed and said, how I wish I could be with you. I will wish the same in the future. However, I cannot follow you if you choose to leave. I will look for you only after I accompany you out to finish the last days of his journey. If you are still alive then, I will come to you to protect you, and to accompany you. If you are no longer there, then I will find you in another world. Even though I am very afraid of death, I have to admit that I have been alive long enough. Love and friendship cannot be had at the same time. If your choice is right, and Yuao's choice is not right, then I will choose you. But now, you should understand what my choice is. Humph. The Ice Empress grunted angrily. You wait. The Skydream Iceworm revealed a pained smile. Perhaps this wait will bring me agony for the rest of my life. The Ice Empress stared at him coldly and said, yes, it will give you pain for the rest of your life. She turned and flirted towards Huo Yuao as she spoke. The Skydream Iceworm felt his heart skip a beat as he hurriedly followed her. The Snow Empress had lost her memory, and she only recognized Huo Yuao. She immediately flew next to Huo Yuao as she stared at the Ice Empress warily. The Ice Empress smiled. She stared at Huo Yuao, and her smile was very happy. You are all wrong. I do want to absorb this manifold mysterious ice essence, and I have to admit that greedy thoughts did appear in my head when I saw it. I believe that is something that any ice-type soul beast cannot avoid. However, that avarice is insufficient to sway my faith. So what if I recreate my physical body? In Tian's life, he has cultivated for more than 800,000 years with the help of the Lake of Life, and even then, he doesn't have a single chance of touching the God Realm. The God Realm has always been very harsh and strict towards the soul beasts. However, I have truly seen hope in Yuao. The call from the God Realm and the formation of his soul core proves that my judgment wasn't false all those years ago. Since that's the case, why would I give up my roots to chase something so trivial? The Skydream Iceworm stared at her with widened eyes and slack jaw. You're not recreating your physical body anymore? The Ice Empress rolled her eyes and said, when did I say that I wish to do that? The Skydream Iceworm stammered, but you said that if something happens to him, you can choose another host. The Ice Empress replied, I did say that, but I was just speaking casually. Why are you so serious? Do you think I don't know how illusory recreating my physical body is? You are too tensed up. Yes, you did sustain enormous pressure coming in here, but that pressure was within my control. If I sensed that he had reached the limits of what he could bear, I would have immediately helped him relieve that pressure. The Ice Empress green light suddenly flourished as she spoke, and the Ice Jade Empress Scorpion's original form glowed behind Huo Yuao's back. The chill that had been assaulting him from the beginning to the end, that had frozen him over instantly, disappeared as Huo Yuao regained his senses. How can he improve without pressure? Did he not do the same to Kirkayu? Don't you know how difficult it is to give you up pressure? This place is as suitable as it gets. This experience will be very beneficial for him when he absorbs the manifold mysterious ice essence later. However, I have to absorb at least half of the manifold mysterious ice essence here. The Ice Empress was very serious. I have never considered recreating my physical body, or to change hosts in the future. To be honest, I don't think anybody can be better than Yuao, and I was just commenting casually. However, such a thing is possible, and I don't think there's anything wrong with that. As for why I have to absorb large amounts of manifold mysterious ice essence to consolidate and strengthen my origins, the reason is simple. Why? The Skydream Iceworm asked. The Ice Empress rolled her eyes and said, you're such an idiot. You had nothing better to do, so you decided to help Yuao form his soul core with only 7 soul rings. This will allow his cultivation to increase more quickly, but have you considered that forming a second soul core is a challenge for an ultimate Douluo? He'll probably need more than 30, or even 50 years. The manifold mysterious ice essence is your great luck. The amount that he can absorb is limited, while my absorption is equivalent to his martial soul absorbing more. All this will be unleashed when he breaks through in the future, and when he is forming his second soul core, I will infuse my origin power into his body so that he has a chance at success. The Skydream Iceworm's jaws were still agape. Very wise. The Ice Empress shot him a disdainful glance and said, of course I am wise, unlike you. You're such an idiot. You hadn't even clarified anything before you came running to express your loyalty. Please, continue. The Skydream Iceworm gave her a sheepish look. I was wrong, Ice Empress. I have aggrieved you. The Ice Empress laughed coldly and said, no, do not speak of a grievance. You're so good to Yuao. You guys are brothers. I am an outsider. Yuao is the generous one. What about you? You are projecting your own despicable thoughts to judge honest people. Leave me alone next time. I was wrong, Ice Empress. Isn't it enough that I have apologized? I will do whatever you wish me to, my lady. I was wrong. I truly understand that I was wrong now. The Skydream Iceworm finally understood what the Ice Empress meant about giving him pain for the rest of his life. He finally felt it deep in his bones. Huo Yuao turned toward the Ice Empress with a forced laugh. This is all just a misunderstanding. Jeez. I was also wrong. Everything is my fault. Don't blame Brother Skydream. The Skydream Iceworm secretly gave Huo Yuao a thumbs up. The Ice Empress chortled and said, it's not so easy to toss us away. Yuao, you will only have motivation when there's pressure. It's fine. I don't blame you. I have always treated you like a younger brother. Furthermore, your speech just now was pretty touching. Quite unlike a certain crawling bug. I was wrong. Ice Empress. The Skydream Iceworm hurriedly stepped forward to pull on the Ice Empress, but she shrugged him away. That's enough. I'll deal with you later. We have to discuss this matter with the manifold mysterious ice essence. You also have to absorb some. Skydream, not just me. The Snow Lady and the Star Anise have to do it as well. The Snow Lady has to take more, and perhaps that will help her regain her strength. Yuao can only absorb a little for now. The manifold mysterious ice essence is too effective, and if you absorb too much of it, you may very well end up in a deep slumber like the Skydream Iceworm all those years ago. If that happens, you may sleep for a good 10 years. I'm sure you won't want that. Thanks so much for watching this video. Don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe. Also leave a comment down below with suggestions on what novels to read.